Thank you for joining me for this video on the solar eclipse in Scorpio taking place on October 25th. I didn't plan on doing a video on the solar eclipse, but after looking at the aspects to this particular eclipse, I felt I really needed to give you a video to prepare you for what was coming. The solar eclipse in Scorpio will take place on October 25th, 6:49 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time at 1 degree Scorpio, 59 minutes. So essentially at 2 degrees of Scorpio. Here is the chart for the new moon eclipse, and I will be talking more about the planetary arrangements in a bit. I just want to give you a preface about the eclipse itself, and this is the same information that I included in the October astrology video. This video will go on to give predictions for all signs having to do with the eclipse. Letting go is the best way to move forward in life. This solar eclipse may help you to release things you no longer need, from old socks to your latest boyfriend. Ouch. Stay alert for things that should be set aside, then use the eclipse energy to do it. With that said, this solar eclipse is a little scary, just a little. It falls in Scorpio, which is not a comfortable sign for the moon to be in, but this is the zodiac sign of transformation, which is what we should be focused on during this eclipse. So what in your life needs to change drastically? What do you need to release in order to move on to the next level? For most of us, the answer is likely to have to do with our relationships, seeing as Venus is in a tight conjunction in this eclipse. Now's the time to effect change in our love lives to the point where we either let go entirely or allow a 180-degree shift to take place. Now's the time to level up in terms of intimacy and closeness and figure out how to be the very best team we can be. Mars is the ruler of this eclipse, and he is in his shadow phase in Gemini, preparing to turn retrograde. He is squaring Neptune, so some things will be obscured and make it confusing to know what you need to do. Use the powerful energy of Scorpio to ensure you're doing everything above board and with a sense of integrity. If you're in doubt, trust that the universe will point you to the road of highest integrity and stay on that road. We are taught to be afraid of the dark. We are taught to be afraid of difference. We are taught to be afraid of each other. We're taught to be afraid, period. Difference is a construct. Difference separates us. Separation makes it possible to harm one another and feel justified in doing so. There are differences between us. That's what makes us beautiful. Differences can be feared or respected, honored or betrayed. Difference is often used against the different. What is powerful has been feared for thousands of years. What is feared gets demonized. What is feared gets projected onto another, onto whole cultures, whole nations, whole orientations. As a group, humans fear many things, and the powers that be, the powers that control our lives, make sure that we keep having fear. What we fear is complex. What we fear is collective. What we fear is also personal. Some fear power, their own greatness, and their fate. Others fear their despicable, unsocialized, unsavory personality traits. Many fear abandonment, loss of control, and pain. Most of us fear some combination of all of that, plus a little bit extra thrown in for good personal measure. Our fears are something we must deal with. We must find out what is in the darkness and how to deal with it. This eclipse in Scorpio is going to make sure that we do just that. The first of our fall eclipses occurs on October 25th, at 6:49 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. The Sun, Moon, and Venus will all be perfectly aligned at 2 degrees of Scorpio. This means that all 3 planets enter the sign mere hours before the eclipse. 1 planet changing signs is a big deal. 3 changing signs and then all being involved in an eclipse is something else entirely. This is a solar eclipse. This is a new moon. This is Scorpio. This is dark. The dark phase of the moon, of the year, and of any part of any cycle was seen for thousands of years to be a part of the healing process. There is no regeneration in the bright light of day. No embryo grows outside of the womb. Life begins in the dark. The moon is said to be in her fall in Scorpio. Venus is said to be in her detriment there. Neither planet is happy-go-lucky in this sign. Both planets in our birth chart tell us about our experience with connection, with relating, with bonding, and with creating. The moon in Scorpio can have moods that swing wildly, intensely, and passionately, but our moon craves stability. Venus in Scorpio can be passionate, obsessive, and vengeful, which can obstruct Venus's desire for peace, harmony, and balance in relationships. Those 2 simple descriptions are far from the complete picture of these planets in Scorpio, but suffice it to say, this is a combination that is sure to bring out our envy, our sexual appetites, our sorrows, our shadows, and all the other bits that are desperate for transformation and healing. Our national, global, cultural, and personal closets, full of shame, are bursting at the seams. This is Venus and the moon in Scorpio. They can reveal the realities of what it is to be a woman in this world, but Scorpio is about transformation. So let the closets burst wide open. We need to acknowledge the harm done. We need responsibility taken and to take it ourselves. We need to give and receive reparations. We need healing on all levels. Let's look at the aspects to this new moon solar eclipse. Mars, which is the ruler of this solar eclipse, holds a trine to the 3 main planets involved in the eclipse, the Sun, Moon, and Venus. This means that there will be an ease in our ability to work. We will feel courageous. Our self-esteem will rise. We will have harmonious interactions with people as we try to build things together, solutions or actual buildings. We're able to solve problems at home. We're willing to compromise. We're able to express ourselves and the seriousness of whatever project we're putting our minds to. It's a great day for planning big projects, for getting together with people and putting out your strategy, putting out your design. It is also a day to make commitments, a commitment to oneself, a commitment to one's partner, a commitment to healing, a commitment to almost anything that you can think of. Anything that you do today for another person in order to help them is going to make you appear to be a god or goddess in their eyes. Even if you're working harder than ever, you probably won't notice because the energy you're receiving from Mars and Saturn in this endeavor will make all of it seem easy. This is great for legal issues too. It can also be great for resolving legal issues or just bringing them. Power struggles will be exposed today. You may feel somewhat betrayed and powerless, but wait it out because this feeling will go away and you have tremendous power in this eclipse. The moon is square Pluto. This will evoke deep feelings which can complicate relationships with loved ones. So you may find yourself in a situation that will have a profound impact on your life or their lives, and that one or the other of you needs to make significant change based on this experience. You may have trouble with your body, and yet you're going to have that Mars trine the sun and feel great about your body. You may be very obsessive about your opinions at this moment. You may be thinking in a biased way, but you can come out of that. The obsessiveness that you feel in your thinking can also cause you to search for the truth. So you need to separate fact from fiction and accept what you find. This will surely be an eclipse that is beneficial to most, but also very painful. So strap in, realize that you're not alone, that everybody's going through this eclipse at the same time. By the way, this eclipse is not going to impact the United States as profoundly as other parts of the world. Western Asia, Western Russia, all over Europe, Northeastern Africa. These are the main areas on the planet that are going to actually be able to view the eclipse. And when you can view an eclipse from where you are on the planet, then that area, that country, that nation, that continent that can view the eclipse is going to be the one that's most affected. It doesn't mean that we won't be affected. It just means that people in those other parts of the world will be affected more. All right, let's move on to the predictions. For those of you with Aries rising, new moons are about beginnings, which you love. However, this particular new moon talks of endings and chapters closing. This could feel scary for you, but just focus on the next door that's opening rather than what's behind you. Don't be afraid to dive into the icky, murky, shadowy parts of yourself that arise from this fear. Facing your dark side will help you grow stronger and become more authentic in the long run. So trust in this process. Taurus. A new moon in your opposite zodiac sign of Scorpio reflects primarily on your relationships. Massive shifts could be made here in the next few months as the seed for change is planted right now, at this very moment. Being someone that tends to resist change and prefers to stay in your comfort zone, this may be a challenge. Being too comfortable means that you never evolve, and evolution may be precisely what you and your relationships need right now. Stay open to powerful new connections. Gemini. Now is the time to completely release and let go of a particular lifestyle habit that's been holding you down and even affecting your health and well-being. You might be far more attached than you ever thought, so it will take courage to move away from what felt like a crutch. The same applies to a particular work situation that may have become just a little too toxic for your liking. These next few weeks may unfold a new professional adventure for you, even if you can't see it right now. Cancer. This could be a particularly passionate and sensual new moon for you, seeing as it unfolds in the area of your chart connected to romance, dating, and chemistry. Maybe you're taking a new lover in these next few months, or perhaps you're thinking about taking an existing connection to the next level. Whatever you do, it seems as if there's plenty of intensity attached to the situation, perhaps a little too much. So be sure that you aren't obsessing and trust that the universe has your back. Leo. These next few months may reveal that it's time to move away, physically or figuratively. Move away from a place that is causing you heartache, a place that you used to call home. Or perhaps it's a moment to shift away from toxic family dynamics that drain you and push you to your limit. Either way, there's a chance of evolution and growth, and plenty of love too, despite the potential drama. Focus on love, and everything else will fall into place. Focus on creating a safe foundation for yourself, on creating a place where you feel you belong. Virgo. What a busy mind you have going on right now. You're normally an overthinker, and this solar eclipse may have your brain on steroids at the moment. Is there a way to take these thoughts and transmute them into action? Perhaps by enrolling in a deep dive course or workshop, taking on a coaching gig, writing a blog, or simply talking to a trusted counselor. These are all great ways to use the powerful mental energy building up for you at the moment. Libra. This eclipse has to do with your physical and emotional resources. What you have, in other words, whether it's tangible or in the form of skills and talents to offer. You might find yourself somewhat possessive and fearful of letting go, but when you let go, you'll find greater reward. Make wise investments from this point onwards and be sure to use what you have to get to where you want to go. Consider your values very carefully and make changes where needed. What may have been important to you a year ago might not be the case anymore. Scorpio. A solar eclipse in your own sign is very special and important. It's like having another birthday. So think of this as the universe offering you the chance to start over. What in your world needs to evolve? Your career, your love life, your finances, your values. Or perhaps it's you that needs to transform. State your intentions for the next few months or the next few years and develop tangible goals to get there. Be ready to welcome swift and sudden change and don't resist the process that gets you to the new chapter. Sagittarius. This could be an intense eclipse for you. It happens in an area of your chart related to mental and spiritual well-being. You may want to take a few days to meditate, pray, and get some clarity, or else you might be overwhelmed with your own shadow material. What do you believe in? As a Sagittarius, it's important for you to have a guiding philosophy and North Star that you can orient yourself toward. Now's the time to rid yourself of toxic ideas and patterns that keep you down and to take time to reinvent yourself from within. Capricorn. Scorpio is a sign you can totally get behind. You love this powerful and ambitious energy. This energy that makes you want to take a calculated risk. Now's your moment to dream up some big aspirations and goals and think about how you're strategically planning to go forward. What's your 5-year plan? Do you have one? Does it need to change? Do you need to enlist the help and support of your friends and community? Or are you going it alone? These are just a few questions to ask yourself. This may also be a time to review your social circle and see who needs to be purged from your life. Aquarius. Scorpio is your career zodiac sign, and thus a solar eclipse here can herald a very important new start in the months, even years to come. With this in mind, you might be contemplating taking a giant leap now or in the future. Ensure that any leap you take is empowering you and helping you to stay true to your integrity and values. Don't be tempted to stoop to a lower level to get ahead, and be unafraid to state exactly where you stand. This way, you'll gain public admiration for your grit and determination. Go you. And Pisces. This new moon eclipse is powerful. Make no mistake about it. It happens in the most spiritual zone of your chart, which means that you might be able to take leaps and bounds when it comes to your inner growth. It's also a great time to travel or take on a course of studies or teaching. It'll come with a price, though, so be aware of that, and know that it'll be a transformative, sometimes intense process, whatever you decide to do. This eclipse is taking no prisoners. So that's it for my short, quick, sweet predictions for this solar eclipse in Scorpio. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.